And this is your election headquarters. We are 4 months to the December elections. Tonight, the groundbreaking, people-centered, issues-driven JoyNews project is back. The Joy Ballot Box is live from Hohoe in the next few minutes, assessing the real issues that will influence your vote in the December elections. The Joy Ballot Box team has been on the ground this week with our ballot boxes, into which hundreds of voters in Hohoe and its surrounding communities have been casting their ballots, telling us what issues will influence your vote. The Joy Ballot Box is a unique show that collates the views of the electorate in a systematic and objective manner and puts the people in direct contact with those who seek their votes in an engagement to test their readiness to serve if voted for. Now, tonight, the people of Hohoe will get the chance to articulate these issues and exact some answers from those seeking their vote. We go live shortly to the forecourt of the old Municipal Assembly office in Hohoe, in the Volta region. But first, why Hohoe? Frekwame Asari has more.
Hohoe Municipality is one of the 18 administrative districts and municipalities of the Volta region of Ghana. It is also among key lively commercial towns with lots of key state institutions in the region, among which is the Bank of Ghana office. It was carved out of the Kpando district between 1978 and 79 and was later upgraded to municipal status in 2005. According to the 2010 population, the municipality, which covers a land area of 1,172 kilometers square, had a population of 167,016. The city population.de projected the municipality's population to hit 210,769 in 2020. The area has since time immemorial played an integral part in Ghana's politics, being a stronghold of the United Party tradition in the post-independence era. It metamorphosed to a National Democratic Congress, NDC stronghold.
You know, before the Fourth Republic, the whole Hohoe, as we know historically, is UP tradition driven, which for now emanates into the MPP government. So the whole of Hohoe areas were Dankwa, Buzia, Dombo tradition until the era of NDC, the PNDC, where Jerry John Rawlings came in, and being the son of the soil of Volta, he has driven so much of the people. I could even say about 90% of the tradition has changed to support the NDC.
The NDC has since been dominant in the constituency. Parliamentary candidates on the NDC's ticket had a fields day in the last 7 general elections.
We have been NDC throughout this region because this is the stronghold of the NDC, we all know and we accept. So from 1992 to date, we have the NDC parliamentarians throughout. We have Madam Honorable Esi Pomari. Then there came Honorable Nat Adwajo. Then came Jacob Haibor. After Jacob Haibor, then we have Honorable Madam Adiku Helu. So all these parliamentarians were NDC.
That notwithstanding, the Energy Minister, John Peter Amewu, is seeking to turn the tables and make history come December 7, 2020. He is contesting the parliamentary elections on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party against the NDC's Dr. Margaret Kweku. The abnormal times within which the country finds itself as a result of COVID-19 makes the Hohoe municipality the perfect first point of call for the ballot box train. It is one of the few towns which first recorded COVID-19 in the Volta region, but has managed to contain the spread. As the Joy Ballot Box train makes its first stop at Hohoe, A key issue which will not elude the electorates as they prepare to engage their political actors is the state of access roads in the municipality.
Cars they spoil, they are shocked. Our things plenty they spoil for the car body. So I beg the government seriously. I'm government, I'm MPP man, so I'm here at the beg. We can't do something small for the road before the election time to happen. So the cars they spoil, that one there. If you feel this road, if you don't put quota safe, you go get vote for it. So if you don't do something for the road there, you go worry. You go get vote, so the vote no go up.
Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Hohoe.
And tonight, the citizens and residents in Hohoe and surrounding communities and districts and constituencies are all ready with their issues. Already, they've cast your ballots into our ballot boxes and they're ready to engage with the duty bearers, the candidates, and the district chief executives there. We are live tonight from the Municipal Assembly forecourt, and we are on Joy 99.7 FM, on the JoyNews channel, on my Joy Online, on our YouTube channel, and on Facebook. I want to go live now and connect you to Winston Amwa, who is going to anchor from the forecourt of the Municipal Assembly. Hello, Winston.
Very much, Evans Mensah, and of course we are live from the forecourt of the old Hohoe Municipal Assembly, where this evening we're bringing you the maiden edition of the Joy Ballot Box in election year 2020. Of course, this will be the second election year, having started in 2016, and the Joy Ballot Box is the platform that presents the opportunity for the electorates and those who seek to represent the electorates to interact by finding out from the electorates issues that would influence their choices come December 7, 2020. And those who are seeking to represent them will be telling the electorates how they intend to address these issues, how they intend to address these challenges for the electorates to make an informed choice come December 2020. But of course, as you can see, this year our focus is on social inclusion. And so we have the youth who are represented by young men and women from Hohoe. The persons with disability are also represented. And we have the Association of Queen Mothers and the Market Women representing the women. My name is Winston Amwa, and the Joy Ballot Box is brought to us by the kind courtesy of Star Ghana Foundation with support from the EU and UK Aid. Very soon we'll start the whole deliberations. We'll start the whole program by getting my guests who are seated here to introduce themselves to you. Tell us briefly one of the reasons why they think that you should be voting for them. But of course, you can join us also on all our social media platforms. You can join us on Twitter. You can join us on Instagram. And you can also watch us on Joy News and listen to us on Joy 99.7 FM. And also listen to us online on my Joy Online. We're definitely getting to the point that all of you have been waiting for. We'll be getting to the dignitaries or those who are seeking to represent you in this year's election. With us this evening at the Old Municipal Assembly, the forecourt of the Hohoe Old Municipal Assembly. So our focus this year is on social inclusion, gender and equity. And so we have the young men and women of Hohoe representing the youth, and we also have the Association of Queen Mothers and the Market Women representing the women, and we have the persons with disability. All of you joining us, and I must say thank you to all of you for being here on time. We said you should be here on time, and you have been here on time. Give yourselves a round of applause. So before we get to the stage here where my guests will be introducing themselves, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the original secretary of the opposition NDC, James Gunu. James, if you're here, just give us a wave. And we also have here with us Joseph Homenya, who's the NPP's original secretary. I see the Queen Mothers from the Hohoe municipality. They are all here. Let's give them a round of applause. I also see young men and women representing the youth who are here. The youth, where are you? Just give us a wave. And I see persons with disability who have joined us this evening. Just give us a wave wherever you are. And of course, I can also see the market women who are here. Just give us a wave if you're from the markets. Thank you very much for joining us. I'd also would like to acknowledge the presence of the NDC constituency chairman for Hohoe, Mr. Anibansa. Thank you also for making time to join us. So what we are here to do today is to give the electorates a chance to engage with those who seek to represent them. And when we came right from Wednesday till now, we have been going around with placed ballot boxes at vantage points, and many of you have cast your votes. And it is those votes that are going to set the agenda for today. I am particularly interested because this year our focus is on social inclusion, gender and equity. So for the persons with disability, out of those who voted, 23% say for them, their focus would be on education, with 14% saying what would influence the choices they make would be those who can give them employment. But of course, the majority of them, 33%, say social inclusion is what they would look out for. For the youth groups, they say, well, employment is key, with 36.3% of them saying, we are going to be voting for that person who is able to show us with policies how they're going to create employment for all of us. With the market women, 16% say their roads are bad, and so we'd want to find out how those roads would be fixed. And as expected, 30% say, well, we want our market infrastructure improved. All these groups, and of course the general population, would be given a chance to ask their questions. There'll be 5 sets of questions. And so for all of you who voted, we have done all the collation. Don't worry, in case your question is asked, you certainly would get an answer for it. At this point, we would give those on the stage, those who are seeking to represent you, a chance to tell you why you should vote for them. They would introduce themselves and briefly tell you in 2 minutes why you should vote for them. This is we're live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra. We are also live on the JoyNews channel, and we're live digitally on My Joy Online. You can definitely join the conversation. Join us on Twitter. Twitter handle is Joy997. You can also, join us using the hashtag #TheBallotBox. And so can you do so on Instagram and all our social media handles. My name is Winston Amwa, and today my job is very simple: to moderate the conversation, moderate the discussions. But of course, you are the ones going to be doing the talking, and I'll be putting those questions that you have said are going to be influencing, or those issues that you have said would be influencing your votes, to those who seek to represent you. And we start with introduction of those who have gathered here today. We're expecting 6 persons. We have 4, and they'll be introducing themselves. I'll start from my immediate left. She'll tell us who she is and why she wants you to vote for her come December 7, 2020.
Thank you very much, Winston. I am Professor Margaret Kweku. I was born in Hohoe here, schooled in Hohoe. I went to the medical school, became a doctor, and my first posting as a medical officer was Hohoe Government Hospital. I worked there at the hospital and became the District Director of Health Services in Hohoe. After which, I went to do my PhD, and I was posted back to Hohoe to continue research in onchocerciasis. Later on, I became the Municipal Chief Executive of Hohoe for 4 years, starting from September 2011 to August 2015. I then moved on to become the Dean of the School of Public Health, the UHAS campus, which was established in Hohoe. Started with 16 students, and now the university has grown to over 1,000 students. Currently, I am the candidate for NDC going to contest, for me to go to Parliament and help Hokwe to develop more than it is now. I was there as a municipal chief executive. I was able to do a lot, and I think if I get to Parliament, I know your problems, and I can help you solve them better. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor Margaret Kweku. The next person here would also do the introduction, and then we move on.
Good evening, everybody. Special greetings to the people of Afajato South. My name is Etonam James Flolu. I'm currently the DC for Afajato South District, and I am vying to go to Parliament on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party come this December 7th, and I'm hoping for a victory. With my background, I started off as a banker for some time, and then went on into establishing certain businesses, from travel and tour to construction to consultancy in terms of customer service, marketing, and branding. With all these things that I have done, I know for sure what our problems are in a district or in the region. Our problems are basic. The issue we need to tackle is to see how fast we can develop. And development is not just focusing on one aspect of the district or the country. We are focusing on all aspects because we need to tackle them to turn things around. Our people are paramount, so we need to do what it is for them to grow. Being a DC, I've assessed all the problems I have seen. We've started making some impact in doing necessary changes in what the current situation is, in building the local economy of Afajato South. I'm trusting that everything will be well before December 7th. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Etonam Flolu. And we'll still stay at Afajato South because the next person to my right also represents the people of Afajato South.
Good evening. My name is Angela Oforiwa Aloute. I'm the MP for Afajato South and also the PC on the National Democratic Congress ticket. Before becoming the MP, I was the District Chief Executive of Afajato South from 2012 to 2016. I am a product of University of Ghana, BA in History and Sociology, and then have my MA from UCC, University of Cape Coast. For my people, they already know who Angela is. I worked with you as a DCE. I provided what you needed, mostly in the communities, and you know what I can do. I never disappointed you in any of my promises. Everything I promised, I delivered. So look on your left. Turn to your right. Turn to your back. Look forward. If you can see anything, project that I gave to that community, that should give you the reason and the encouragement that I am always ready to deliver on the promises. Together, we will build Afajato. We started it, even though it is kind of slow now, we are going to continue from where we ended and still going to do everything for you. I thank you for the opportunity. Joy FM.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tay. We head straight to the last person on the stage currently, and he represents the people of Bando.
Thank you. Good evening, good people of Bando. I greet you all. My name is Ernest Theophilus Christ. I come from Bando Fisi, Ravati Agami. I had my Bando, and then continued to Nkunya Secondary School. Went further to Training College. From there, I went to the University of Education and ended up at the University of Cape Coast, where I had my master's in business administration. I've had all my life working time in Bando, I started teaching at Kwando Senior High, and then moved down to the basic level where I became the headmaster of St. Michael's GHS. After some time, I moved to Kitty GHS as the headmaster. From there, I moved to Bishop Herman College. From there, continued to become National Health Insurance Kwando Scheme Manager. And currently, I've been elevated to the position of the Municipal Chief Executive, where I serve currently. I'm also the parliamentary candidate on the ticket of MPP. Along lived and worked at Kwando. The people know me, they understand me. Sorry. The people know me. I've always been with them, and we understand each other. I've been in office for just 8 months, but the records are clear for all of us to see. I think voting is an investment. It's not something we'll have to compromise with. It's important we consider goal-getters, achievers, not just mere talkers. I believe strongly come December, we will emerge winners. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. That's Ernest Quist, representing the people of Kwando as their district chief executive, municipal chief executive, and he also wants to go to Parliament on the ticket of the governing NPP. So let me say that for all the 4 persons who have introduced themselves, they are either DCs or MPs, but even with the DCs, they are persons who are seeking to become members of Parliament. For this program, we also invited the Minister for Energy and parliamentary candidate for the NPP in the Hohoe constituency. Unfortunately, he is unable to join us here. We're told that he has an urgent meeting, government business, and thus has not been able to join us. But we have the MCE for Hohoe, that's Andrew Stediofori. The interesting thing is that you know that governments are represented, or the president is represented in the district by the DCE. And so for him, he has a unique position. And he's also representing the regional minister, Archibald Lecha, who is unable to join us here, and also representing John Peter Amewu. The man carries a lot of portfolios today. We'll give him a chance to speak briefly. And then I'll join you down there, and we get into the questions. I'll be opening the ballot box, and we'll be finding out the issues that you say will be helping you make a choice come December 2020. So, Honorable Ofori, kindly pick your microphone and tell us, say a few words to us, and then we will start off with the opening of the ballot box.
Thank you very much.
You can sit down, don't worry. You can sit down and talk to us.
It seems you want to acknowledge that I'm older than all of you here. Yes, I'm 65 years. So it means he wants to acknowledge that. Yes. Thank you very much, the organizer and the MC. I want to welcome all of you to this all-important program. As he rightly said, my regional minister was supposed to be here, but due to some important assignment, he's not able to make it. So I want, on behalf of the regional minister and my own self as the municipal chief executive for Hohoe, and then also on behalf of the energy minister, who happens to come from Hohoe, or who is the parliamentary candidate for the new patriotic party in Hohoe, to welcome all of you to Hohoe. I don't have much to say. I know, personally, I'm not contesting election. The ballot box is about the electors trying to tell the people what they are expecting of them, the questions they'll ask them, how they'll answer them, is left to them. But all that I'm saying is that, or I want to say is that, we as a government have been given a mandate to rule the country, whether national or regional or municipal or district level. And we have lived up to expectations. So on behalf of government, I want to say that this is a very good opportunity for you to attest to the fact that we have lived up to expectations. All the projects that we have executed, all the programs that we have executed. Well, if there are some that have not met your expectations, we expect that you bring them up so that we maybe amend our ways and then we see the way forward. All that we are talking about is about development of ourselves, our people. So this is an opportunity for the electors, all of us, to assess ourselves. I always say that I'm very happy when people come to find out what we are doing. They always put us on our toes, and it is good for all of us.
Okay.
So thank you very much. I'm here representing my regional minister, my energy minister, the parliamentary candidate for MPP, and then who is contesting with my honorable Professor Margaret Kwaku. Honorable. You are all welcome.
Thank you very, very much. Andrew Teddy Ofori, who is the Municipal Chief Executive for Hohwe, and he's representing the Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Lecha. He's also representing the Energy Minister, John Peter Amewu, and representing his own self. Let's give a round of applause again. All right, so this is the Joy Ballot Box, and we have gotten to the part that I know many of you have been waiting for, the chance to ask questions, the chance to tell all of us, tell the whole Ghana, because the whole Ghana is watching, the issues that are going to decide how you vote come December 7, 2020. But before I open the ballot box also, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Gbi Traditional Council, who are represented here. Togbil, thank you very much for joining us. You know, chiefs and queens, when they sit in our midst, they don't get up. So we would rather applaud them for, you know, accepting to be here today. Thank you very much for joining us. So this is what we've all been waiting for. What are the issues that will be deciding the choices that we make? I started by sharing those issues with you. I told you how many of you have talked about infrastructure, particularly the roads. When it comes to the general population over here, we're looking at over 40% of you saying the roads are going to determine how we vote come 27th December. But of course, let me get into it and begin to find out what are those issues. So if I call you, you'd come and ask your question. And we'll start off with the youth group, where Florence Makaufi-Alavi wants to find out from all of you gathered upstage things that you want to do to develop the community. Makaufi, if you could just get to our microphone stands there and ask your question so that the question will be addressed for us. While she asks the questions, we'll also be picking the next ballot paper and be finding out what issues would be influencing the choices that will be made. All right, Makaufi, go ahead.
Okay. Hello. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. My first question is, what is the specific role for the MP and the MC? Is it the responsibility of the MC or the MP to develop the town? Secondly, to the aspiring MPs, I want to know what are their plans for the development of Hohwe Township? What do they bring forward if we vote for them?
Okay. Thank you very much, Makaufi. Kindly assume your seat. But please, when you're giving the chance, it's just one question. We want as many people as possible to ask questions. So when you're giving the chance, when you come, just make it very brief. Ask that question. Next person will be Suleimana Arim Yao. He's a person with disability, and he has some concerns with issues to do with health and other issues. And he will be addressing us with sign language and would have that interpreted. So Suleimana, if you could, yes, just tell us what your concerns are. We'll get the interpreter to speak to us and tell us what those issues are.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity given me. My question is, I want to find out, if you win, what are you going to do to help the deaf people to find an interpreter at the hospitals and then clinics and police station at private places. So he is putting the challenge to the aspirants that if they win, what are they going to do to help the deaf? Also to understand issues about health at the hospital and then maybe bank and then police station or some other places.
Well, pardon me, but since we are in an era of COVID-19, we should be seen to be doing the right thing. We must and should be seen to be doing the right thing. And that's the reason why I have to, as much as practicable, sanitize the microphone before I use it. Thank you very much, Suleiman Arimiyal. Let me just pick the next one. I'll just call that person to come over and ask the question, and then I'll assume my seats, and we'll take it up from there. We'll get our guest, or we'll get our leaders who are seeking to represent us to address those issues. Beatrice Avotri, if you're here, kindly get close to the microphone and ask your question. Let's be very fast to and get there. Yes, Beatrice Avotri, you would ask your question, and then we'll get leaders who are seeking to represent us to address those issues. Yes, Beatrice, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. Please, when you look around, you find young men and women who are very skillful, let's say in vocational skills. So I would like to find out from you, the MPs, if voted for, what will you do to help develop the vocational skills of the youth and the people in your constituency? Thank you.
Right, thank you very much for joining us. Beatrice, thank you very much for joining us. And so we'll get, those who are seeking to represent us to answer these questions. And I'd like to start from Suleiman Arimiyal's question. He says, how would we ensure that when they get to public facilities, be it hospital, be it police stations, for those of them who use sign languages, there are people who can attend to them? That's very important to me. That's where I want to start from. Which of you takes it first? Professor Kweku, yes, I'll come to you first, since you are the health practitioner.
Thank you very much. I think his question is very relevant. We need to address that question. And I think we started way back in 2010 trying to put facilities in such a way that they are disability user-friendly. This we started doing, and all assemblies were assessed on that. I believe with the sign language, all that we need to do is to train those professionals in sign language so that every organization has somebody who can help these people when they get to their organizations to access their services. I think if a nurse is trained in sign language, a nurse will be at the hospital, and when such people arrive, they will be ready to help them. If it is the bank, we have to ensure that they also train somebody at the bank to help them. All offices, be it education, market, we need to identify people who can learn the sign language and help our people. I know that a lot of our teachers who teach in those schools or institutions never learned the sign language. And when they get there, they are taught and they are able to
So if you could kindly speak loudly for us, Professor Kweku, so we can hear you. If you could put the microphone closer to your mouth so you can speak. Yes.
I am saying that I know teachers who are teaching in schools where we have people with such disabilities, and they are able to learn the sign language and teach. So every organization can train some of their people to do this sign for them when they arrive at their organizations for services.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Kweku. Let me get to you, Honorable Tay. What are you going to do? He wants to know.
Okay, thank you. What I will do from next week, even before the election, will be to talk to the minister in charge I know that a lot of our ladies and gentlemen, some of them have been trained already. So it's a matter of policy that every hospital should have 2 or 3 interpreters to be able to assist our brothers to go through the processes at the hospital. So we don't need to wait for December 7th before, because it's also about the budget. If we put this across, that will be very, very important, because our brothers and sisters are one of us and they need to understand what goes on in the system. I can assure my brother that next week I'll put a question to the Minister of Health to answer in Parliament, to tell us, to make him aware first of this particular issue, and also answer so that we'll take it from there. So you have your people there.
All right. Can you, wrap up for us?
You have your people there, and I'm sure they will bring the story out for us to know how they will handle it.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's get to you, Honorable Christ.
Yes, thank you, Winston. I think we need to appreciate the fact that people living with disability, of course, are an integral part of the society and need to be taken care of. Of course, if you move to most public places, you realize that facilities are not put in place, to help them assess whatever needs or support they have. If you come to Mandu, the first thing I did was to relocate my office to downstairs, where, of course, people living with disability, those in the hills, can access me directly. But then you also realize, moving forward, those who are the expertise in sign languages are very few. And so there's a need for us to liaise with the appropriate courtesies, the Ministry of Education, to ensure that, their training and then whatever thing it will take to ensure such people are more, so that we can have them all over, are also considered when it comes to issues of policy making. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Christ. Let me get to you, Honorable Flolu. What would you do?
I'm looking at this from 2 different aspects. 1, solving a problem, and 2, job creation. In fact, the question the young man asked rang a bell in my head, because I had an experience where I was engaging somebody who couldn't speak, and I was struggling to understand what he meant by what he was doing. So I just pictured if it were the other way around. How do they understand us? So how do we get that solved? Looking at it, this is an opportunity for government and the private sector to create jobs for so many people. Look at the number of facilities we have across the country, even hospitals, counting them, even banks, counting them. How many do we have? To just say the few, if you look at it, we can even create on the spot 1,000 jobs for people who can interpret what the lady is doing. So if we make that a policy for government to implement, that, hey, every facility or every public place should have a translator or interpreter for us to get to be able to communicate with our people. So with job creation in mind, I think that we can easily do this and then solve the problem. One of the things that I noticed in us dealing with the people with disability is we try to see them as people who need help, instead of seeing them as one of us. With that approach, that is why we keep doing the things we do. If we see them as people like us, and that they need to live normal lives, we can easily solve this and create jobs for so many people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Flolu. So we'll move to the next question, and that has to do with the development of Hohoe. And so, yes, Honorable Ofori, you want to make some comments briefly? Otherwise, I get to the development of Hohoe.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think when we talk about these people with disability, already in Hohoe, we're doing much. Even if you look at the buildings, all the buildings around, they have access. Look at the...
Please take your microphone a bit closer to your mouth so we can hear you.
So you see that even before you enter the main building there, you have people who cannot even walk normally, they have access. Look at the new building we have just completed. Over there, it is there. And where we have 2 main schools for disability. students. The school for the deaf, then the special school at Klejo. So the assembly and the government is trying to support these groups so that if they come out to be part of it, to be able to work with it, then we can also get more people and even get some, like you're talking about the hospital, so they can be employed. We are sponsoring some of them at the university. There are people with disability here that the assembly has sponsored to go to the universities and then come out or graduate. So we are thinking that if we are able to help them, we can get a lot of them who can fill those gaps that we need in the hospitals and other departments.
All right, thank you very much. Let me come to the development of Hohoe, and then, Professor Kweku, someone wants to know the plans you have to develop, particularly the Hohoe municipality as a member of parliament.
Thank you very much. I would say that having been the municipal chief executive of Hohoe, when I was there, I brought in a lot of development. Even the forecourt where we are sitting, this assembly never used to be like that. When I arrived, I ensured that I renovated the whole place and made it look as it is now. Even the building which is on our left, also I designed it and it was approved and we put it up. I roofed it before I even left assembly. Having done all these things, I realized that this assembly can only develop if there is money. And government common fund or DDF cannot support every project. So I worked hard to put things in place to ensure that we were able to win grants. And from the time I came, we started winning grants, urban development grants, and we were getting over $500,000 a year. The first year we got $512,000. The second year we got $800,000. The third year we got $900,000 US dollars. And I made sure I prepared the place before I left. The fourth one, we won a grant of $980 US dollars. Those are the grants we were able to use to develop Hohoe. That was how we were able to even construct a road, Hospital Road. We constructed it. Those of you in Hohoe know that Hospital Road was like a death trap, but we were able to construct it from Assembly's income. We were able to also tar the market road because everybody uses the market. I was able to bring in mechanized borehole, the first of its kind in the municipality, and every electoral area benefited from it. From that time, water problems were partially solved. So when I get to parliament, I know how assemblies work. I will support the municipal chief executive and ensure that we bring in a lot of development. I have lobbied for something like rural enterprise. This is a program which I single-handedly applied for the municipality. Okay. As at the time I came as...
So just because of our time, I think the question that was asked is, what will you do? You're an advocate of development. Beyond the lobbying, lobbying is very broad. What will you do?
When I get there, I will lobby, that's one. I will ensure that I establish programs and support the assembly to be able to get grants aside what government provides so that we can bring development into the municipality.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Kweku. Let me get to you, Honorable Ofori. For you, the question is, what are you doing and what will you do?
Thank you very much. I think I have been this office for the past 3.5 years. I was endorsed on the 13th of July, 2017, so barely 3.5 years now. We have done a lot. my honorable professor talked about this building. It was 46% complete before I came to power.
It was what percentage?
46%. The project started in 2011.
Including the roofing?
Yes, 46%. Okay. So I have to commit all the common funds because we needed the offices. Today, we have completed this, and we are using them. I don't want to take credit for the projects we completed. We completed a number of classrooms, like Lipe Senior High School. We completed it, and my opponent said they started it. Meanwhile, out of 1,400,000 and something, they paid just about 540,000 cedis. And I had to come and pay the rest. So who completed it? Who did it? So when we complete the project, we want to use the facilities. The students need them. So we completed all those projects. If you go to Adabraka School, we are putting up a story building, 6-unit classroom story building. You go to all the secondaries. We have 8 senior high schools, and we have projects all over there. Okay. Today, we have put up a technology facility, rural technology facility, which is going to train our youth, going to manufacture farm implements and tools to supplement. We are moving artisans all to the industrial area to decongest Hokwe Township. Last week, we cut the sod for the construction of 106 lockable stores, 140 sheds, a crash, police post, fire post, all this just to modify Hokwe market to make it a modern market to serve the eastern corridor from the northern part of the country. It is an international market. Work has started. Demolition has started over there. We are also putting up another 40 stores, lockable, apart from this 106, 40. And then 40 shares. We are getting a yam market at Bohome Market. That is Bolas, that's how we call it. We are putting up a yam market so that will be separated from the milk market. We're getting food market for our people. We have put up an abattoir, a modern. If you go to the slaughterhouse now, where the meat that we eat from whether wache or banku or fufu in the choba is being produced. It is uncalled for. We have committed our UDF funds to construct a modern abattoir, close to 1 million Ghana cedis, to serve all the people. You see, Hokwe is a transit point where people who are traveling along stop over and eat. If there should be an outbreak of disease, don't talk about only Hokwe people. Talk about the enclave, bordering Togo, Kwando, Bandambai, Yendi, Pasang, Kwanta. So Hokwe is a hub that we need to be serious with. So we are doing all these things not in the interest of only the people of Hokwe. And the chiefs know that if there's an outbreak, Hokwe will suffer more than any other person. And that is why we are doing all these things. We have opened up our roads. Look at the street light. We are building a stadium, a modern stadium, which is even bigger than what we have in Ho. Apart from the Accra Sports Stadium, you don't have any other stadium. 5,000 seater capacity. Afrotech, 5,000 seater capacity. And if you go there now with a hospital, we have a lot to talk.
Yes, Honorable, you have a lot to say, but we need to give others a chance to say.
The evidence is clear.
Yes, hold on. We have to give people also a chance to speak. And I started by telling you that we went around, we did our collation. We'll get to, the electorates shortly. But before we get to the electorates also, it is important that I put to you, all of you here, what you're going to do to address 2 key issues that came up in all of our interactions with the people. One, and I start with you, Honorable Tay, is the road network. In fact, the very moment I got to Hokwe, the first question that I heard was, and let me just say this in every way I would interpret it, it says, and we were not privileged to have gone through Pando, Alavanyu, and what, because we didn't know there. We came straight, and the road was terrible. This is the Eastern Corridor Road we're talking about. Much publicized, much talked about. What are you going to do as advocates of development to ensure that this road is fixed for your constituents and the people who ply it?
Well, the Eastern Corridor Road is a big problem. It's an issue. We all use it every day. We started it, we continued as a government from 2014 or 15 or so, and we had contractors on the way before we lost the election. And in governance is about continuity. When I start something and you come, you must continue. But we were told that there was going to be an audit into what was going on the road, and just after the audit, the contractors will come back. So we were of high hopes that, or I was of the hope that the contractors were going to come back as soon as possible. In fact, this Eastern Corridor Road is, if you read our official report, we have asked not less than 20 questions. We actually invited the Minister of Roads, and he kept telling us that it will be done, it will be done. I, as the MP of Afadjato South, we will continue to go and remind, or we'll continue to remind the MP, the Minister about this road. This road is a very important road because it goes all the way to the north. And so what I would do will be to continue to talk about it, to remind the Minister to come to make sure that he fulfills his promise of coming back to the road, bringing back the contractors to the road. A few days ago, we saw 3 tipper trucks dumping laterite in my constituency in Nyangbo Gagbefe. They've left. So we can only talk about it. We can only continue to lobby or tell them that there is the need for this road.
Okay.
And I also want to, if you give me the opportunity, I want to talk about the MP's responsibility.
I'll come to that. We'll give you that chance. But let me get to Honorable Christ. Honorable Christ, what are you going to do?
Well, listen, it's quite interesting. I don't know what my learned colleague is saying here. Hello? Governance is a continuous process. And of course, development is a shared responsibility. I don't know what you meant by, or what she's trying to put across as though old projects are not being continued. What are we talking about here? Look, this is the Eastern Corridor Road that has been so much touted, that has been so much talked about, that it's about 95% complete. Talking about the old the former government. Nana Akufo-Addo Dankwa has come, and he is continuing. Get to Jessica and see. Are you saying work is not ongoing there? It is continuing.
So from Asikuma through to Chibu to Hohoe, what is happening here?
We need to start from a point. Okay? Much has been said about it. The government was so clear about it. And so, I tell you frankly speaking, it's not like the government is sitting and leave and wouldn't continue the Eastern Corridor because the Muhammad-led government started it somewhere and stopped. Plans are far advanced. He is in parliament. He knows of it. Okay? The work will continue. It is continuing.
You come in, Honorable T. I know that you want to speak about that. Let me get to Honorable Etonam Flolu to also tell us what he's going to do about this route, because about 40% of the people complain about the poor nature of the roads.
Thank you, Weston. For me, it's not about what I'm going to do. It's about what I'm doing now. Actually, if my MP here can attest to the fact, the contractors are on site. They are actually in her hometown, which is Nyangbo, Gagbefe, which happens to be the paramount community in Nyangbo. They are there as we speak. What I had to do was to frequent Accra and let them know. I used the opportunities we have in the district, which is tourism, that I need people to be visiting my district and that I need the roads to be done. So the roads are not just being done on the Eastern Corridor stretch. There's a massive road construction going on from Mliati Agbonyira all the way to hit the Afadjato Mountain. That is what we are doing. We are actually tackling the road. And in actual sense, they are in her hometown as we speak. The contractors are there working tirelessly just to make sure the road is smooth for all of us to pass. It is not about what is going to be done. It is being done, and we will finish. We are committed to completing the road.
Let me get to you, Honorable Professor Kweku. You say it's true that the contractors at Nyagbo?
Nyagbo, yes.
Nyagbo, have you seen them there?
I haven't seen, I don't pass through that road because the road is so bad. So I haven't seen anything.
You don't use the road?
I don't pass through that road. I pass through Pando.
Because the road is too bad?
So, yes, anytime I pass there, I get waist pain.
You get waist pains on the road?
Yes. I will add something. I think we as Ghanaians, we need to be sensitive to what happens to our people, our citizenry. I was a municipal chief executive in Hokwe here. And as a chief executive, I ensure that regularly we reshaped our roads, even though they were not tarred, including town roads and then trunk roads. We were doing that regularly to make them more trouble for our people. Do we have to suffer for 3-4 years before we bring contractors on road to start construction? That is not being fair. We are not being fair to the people. For the past 3 years, we have been suffering on this road. If we were to just maintain what the previous government did before leaving power, we can say that, yes, we will keep it at that level, and it will be comfortable. We allow rain to wash away everything. Now there are manholes on the road. People cannot use it. And we are not doing any maintenance even to allow them. If we are not doing asphalt, why can't we just fill the potholes?
But the manholes you talk about started in 2017.
Yes.
It started in 2017.
In 2017.
So roads that were supposed to have been constructed, for instance, the Chibu to the Peki-Chibu stretch, by June 2017, I saw manholes on those roads. Doesn't that tell you also about the quality of the roads?
No, they haven't completed before they left. Yes, and if you leave a road which is under construction and it starts raining, you see that potholes will start developing.
But that's the best stretch of the road. The Chibupeki stretch is the best stretch of the eastern corridor from Asikuma through to Hohoe. You would agree with me. Anyway, let me get to Honorable Tay, because
Winston,
yes, you have a concern, yes.
Yes, I think Etonam didn't listen to me well. I said that last week, the people returned with about 3 articulators to my paramountcy, the Gagnyangbo Bepe. I mentioned it. What were they waiting for? Contractors were on the road from in 2016. Work was continuing, and whoever gave them the directive to leave sat down. All this while, the work that was done washed away. The road is now in a terrible state, and we have 5 months to election. And then you tell us now, or 6 months to election, you now tell us that the contractors are back and they are in Justikai and they are in Yangbogagbepe. For Christ's sake, we are suffering. Look, the most terrible part of the road is in my district. Etonam knows. We have a terrible, we can't even move. Aside that, when we were in government and I was the DCE, we bought a grader. And we were, reshaping all the roads. Now, the grader is sitting somewhere. And look, you just saw Eastern Corridor when you were coming. Go into the hinterlands. Visit my people in the villages, even my own hometown. You can't go. Where is the grader? Do the basics for us. Even if highways is not responding or to us, use our grader if we have it to reshape some part of the road for us to go. So this is not about politics. This is about all of us sitting here. Our market women, their lorry fares have increased because of this road. They have to pass through Pando instead of coming straight. They have to pass through Ho instead of coming straight. So, my brother, this is not politics. They were not there for a very long time. They have just returned with about 3 or 4 tipper trucks with 1 payloader. Is it about politics? It is very late.
And those 3-4 tipper trucks, are they still there?
I didn't see them this morning. I didn't see them. If they are there, I didn't see them. So if he says that they are there, I came earlier. I mean, I got to Hokwe very early so I could be on time. So maybe the time I passed, they had not arrived. So if now they are there and he is the district chief.
But you saw them yesterday.
Yeah, I saw them not in Nyangbo, Gagbefe.
But you saw them yesterday?
Yes, in Harvard driving around.
Okay, you saw them yesterday.
Truck, 2 of them drove around. And so I have acknowledged that some tipper trucks came to Nyangbo, Gagbefe, and that you can see for yourself when you pass. Did you see any? Didn't you suffer there? If you are going, look for Nyangbo, Gagbefe and see what they are doing there.
I think I'll use the road that all of you have been using.
No, I did.
Yes, I'll use the road all of you have been using.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me get to you, Honorable Ofori.
Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, because of this program, I personally drove to Nkwanta. 6 p.m. I left here. I came back 12 midnight yesterday night. The contractors are on road from Hokwe to Jasikan. That we're talking about the Eastern Corridor Road.
Yes, and we're also talking about from Asikuma to Hokwe.
Yangbo to from Kweve. I was in Accra last week. I came back for a program here. Togbe, I think you are aware that I drove from Accra on Monday for the salt cutting for the market. Contractors are on the road, even doing pothole patching first. They are leveling all the bad spots, the areas at Nyangbo, where is that Kodan route? Ve, Bodome, all those places. Now you can drive. Yes.
We can now drive on the road?
Yes. Let me tell you, you can drive. At least we are talking about what used to be the situation and what it is now. Before the elections, former President Mahama came here on helicopter. And after everything, they said that the roads were completed. So Nana Akufo-Addo came here.
Oh, hold on.
Excuse me.
Hold on. Are you, no, hold on. Are you saying John Mahama never used this road?
On road. He came with helicopter. Yes.
The people disagree with you.
No. He came with helicopter. And then he didn't drive on the road. He came on helicopter. And then he went and reported that the road is complete. And Nana Akufo-Addo came here. I remember he was even dramatizing that when he said that the road was not good, Mahama said he was asleep. And he said the road on which he drove, bongo. How can he sleep on this road? On RC Park, Togo Men of Ma. The president made that statement. That means what?
Obey your men of Ma.
Pardon? Make our men of Ma.
Obey how?
How? No.
Hey, Bia, when you ask them men of Ma, obey how? They say no, they were not there.
President Akufo-Addo. Heva. Zigbato.
Let's speak English.
When the president Nana Akufo-Addo came to Hokwe, when he was sworn in as a president, he drove on the road. Said, former President Mahama said the road was complete.
Okay.
And then he said no. And Mahama said Nana Akufo-Addo was asleep in the car.
Okay, hold on 1 minute for me.
So he came here.
Hold on 1 minute for me, Honorable Ofori.
Yes.
We need to do something here.
Yes.
So I have used the road on one occasion.
Yes.
In the last 2 years. Let me be very honest with you. The last time I used the road was in 2017.
Yes.
So this is the next time I'm using the road, the last 3 years.
Yes.
So Honorable Ofori has been asking several questions.
Yes.
Weren't you there? Didn't you see it?
Yes.
I beg. I want to do something very simple here.
Okay.
Can 2 or 3 people get close to the microphone? Tell me what they saw. Please, let's maintain social distancing. I'll give you a chance. When you get close to the microphone, you mention your name, where you're coming from, and tell us what your concerns are with the road. Your duty bearers, some say, well, it has been done. In fact, it is better than it used to be. Others say, whenever I pass there, I have waste problems, so I use the other side of the road. Yes, tell us your name and what your issues are.
Evans, good evening to you and your listeners. And as you know that my name is Francis, a.k.a. Enemies Are Not God, as you know on your program all the time on JoyNews. And I think my problem is these our politicians, they take us, we Ghanaians, granted. When they see that when it is time for election, before we see them on the road with their machines, which is very bad. They think that without them, there's no anything. But I want to assure them that the moment you want to show yourself to us, we Ghanaians will show to you. Because I remember that the time our former president, he brought the machines on the road. The road was done continuously. The moment this our former president, Nana Akufo-Addo, he came to power, when I used to do all the road in Ghana, he sacked all the people on the road. And I am a Ghanaian. I need to express myself to everybody in Ghana that you know, which is very bad. But I want to assure these politicians that we beg them. We Ghanaians, we beg them, we take in the name of God, we beg them that when they come to power, they should do the right thing at the right time, like our former president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, did. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me get to the next person.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, we are listening to you.
Yes, thank you. I guess
Please, what's your name?
My name is George Bright Anibansa, the constituency chairman for NDC.
Okay.
I guess this afternoon you granted me some interview, and I just told you I was coming from Accra. I drove on this road yesterday at dawn and came back on this same road this afternoon. If he is sitting there and telling us that the road is done, I'm sorry.
He didn't say that. He says you can drive on it now. It's better than it was before.
Master, I beg you, let's be truthful to ourselves. For once, you see, this is why people take we politicians that we are liars. It's wrong. Once something is wrong, it's wrong. Let's all say the truth for once, just once. That is what can help us. Okay. But if we sit in public and we try to peddle falsehood, please, I'm sorry. Let's come again. Thank you so much.
Do these introductions. These are chiefs from left to right.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, next person.
Okay, I'm Charles Doji Gidisu, a civil society leader. The Eastern Corridor Road has a history. At least I was a witness to 2008 electionary campaign where President Mills promised fixing the Eastern Corridor Road. 2010, Togbe Apede was a regional House of Chiefs, their chairperson. He called on the president that the road was not constructed with the chiefs in the region.
Speak into the microphone so we can hear
2011, contractors were brought on road. We know construction started from Asikuma towards Have. By then, I was a student, so I was always using the road. After 2012 election, 2013, contractors were moved away from the road. So 2013, there was no construction ongoing on Eastern Corridor Road. 2014, there was no construction ongoing on Eastern Corridor Road. 2015, getting to the end of 2015, when election was approaching, and there was agitation from residents in the region, particularly traditional leaders and young youth groups like us. They brought contractors and scattered them across the district along the Eastern Corridor Road. And immediately after election, that was obviously for purposes of election. Otherwise, on what basis was construction which was started during President Mills' time, sword was cut by him? On what basis was it stopped after 2012 election? I am seeking for that information from the government that took over in 2013. Okay. Then, in 2017,
make it brief.
Immediately, government took over again, just as what happened in 2013. They moved all the contractors away from the road. So, like the first speaker said, politicians have taken us for granted in Volta region.
Okay.
This time round, a major consideration for most of us will be construction of Eastern Corridor Road. So it's good to hear my MC say that attention is being given to it. If that is true, then we will also follow suit. Otherwise, we will also show them on December 7th.
Okay, thank you very much. By clapping for him, do you agree with what he said? Yes. Oh, do you agree with him? Yes. Okay, so you disagree with the people here. Hold on, all of you. I'll give you Honorable Tay. You say you want to react in 1 minute to former President Mahama coming with a helicopter. Yes.
My people, former President John Mahama visited this community or Hokwe town severally by the road in his vehicle. The only time he came to Hokwe with a heli was when he traveled to the north and then had to come from the north to this place. After he had a program at the north and he was running late. So for several times he was here in his car. Ever fee plevu. Amere kema toba chinami hem MC le do fifi ebede. Hokwe le fi de a heli ko mahama cover fio alakpa tami se
No, hold on. Let's do it politically correct. Menya lakpayo, menya nyatefeyo. Aha, so it is not true. Let's do it politically correct. I need to acknowledge the presence. Please hold on. I know there are many of you who want to speak on the roads because 40% is one issue that many people are concerned about. But I need to acknowledge the presence of some dignitaries also. The chiefs are here. It's important that we acknowledge them. But let me acknowledge the presence of the NPP constituency chairman for Hokwe, Anthony Kondobri. If you're here, just give us a wave. We have seen you. Okay, thank you very much. And I talked about the chiefs joining us. So let me just acknowledge the chiefs who have joined us. So Togbe Ode IV, who is the acting paramount chief of the traditional area. Togbe, thank you very much for joining us. We also have Togbe Ajofosu IV, who is divisional chief of Bin Atabu. Thank you very much for joining us. And Togbe Vule IV, who is sub-chief of Bin Blanc. And we also have the Asafwa Chegan of the traditional area. Thank you, all of you, for joining us. We're very happy that you made time to join us. It only tells us that you are interested in the development process of your people. And we have the Queen Mothers here. We've already acknowledged them. We'll come back to you, the Queen Mothers. But yes, Honorable Flulu, you want to make some point quickly?
Yes, it's laughable. The NDC only knows how to tell the truth in opposition. When they are in opposition, they'll say, tell the truth, tell the truth, tell the truth. But what is the reality? You had opportunity to do this road. You refused. You didn't do it. You took us for granted. You took the people of Volta region for granted. And now you are inciting people. If you had done this road from 2012, would we be talking about this road now? If the NDC had done it, would we be talking about it now?
But
no.
You had also done it since 2017 to
We
now.
are doing it. We are on the road.
It?
As we speak, the contractor is on the road. I was there. I visit them almost on a daily basis. We are doing it, and we will do it. This is not politics. This is being truthful to the people. If the NDC wants to tell the truth in opposition, I pray they always remain in opposition so they keep telling the truth to the people of Ghana. That's all.
Okay, thank you. So I want us to reach a consensus on the road. Now, all of you admit the road is bad. It has been like this, and I have seen Eastern Corridor Road in the budget, not today. It's just like the Fufusu Road that we kept hearing of, and Bole Bamboy Road for years. Now that you have agreed, and now that you have caucuses in Parliament, as a group, are you prepared to work together to have the road fixed once and for all, irrespective of whose party is in power? I'll start off with you, Honorable Margaret Kweku. Are you prepared to put the pressure irrespective of which party is in power?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think that will be my priority when I get to Parliament. Now we have to work on this Eastern Corridor Road. This is because the road alone affects every aspect of life. Traders travel to Accra and other places to buy things and come and sell.
Okay.
And if the road is bad, what happens? Things become more expensive.
Okay.
And it affects everybody's pocket. Therefore, that should be the #1 priority for me when I get to Parliament.
All right,
that
thank
we
you.
will come together and work and ensure that government fix that road before any other thing else.
Okay, let me get to you, Honorable Te Are you prepared to do that irrespective of which party is in power?
Yes, we are prepared to do so.
Okay.
But I just want to tell my people that you saw how the road was. It was far, far better than now. And so please, on 7th December, please, this one is not a campaign message. It's not politics. If you give us the opportunity, we will continue and finish within the shortest possible time. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Quist, easy. Take your time. Take your time, please. We are giving all of you a chance to be heard and for your leaders to speak with you. You might be angry, but please relax, be patient. Yes, Honorable Quist.
Yes, Winston, I refuse to get angry with you. Yes, we will agree to continue. But the question is, the current government, are we not continuing old projects? The question the MPP chairman came and asked, that of course the situation of the Eastern Corridor Road is far better off. I need him to come there. I want to ask a question. I don't know where he is.
Ask your
question.
Go
to what they call Jaskan right now. What is happening there? How do you consider the nature of that road currently now as compared to that? Jaskan stretch is part of the Eastern Corridor Road. Is it not part of it? Okay. We need to begin from a point. And so yes, we'll continue. Yes.
Okay, so let me get to Honorable Ofori briefly.
Yeah.
Let's make it very brief.
I want to say that we are not going to wait for them to come and continue. We are going to complete the road.
Okay.
We are determined to finish it.
Thank you.
We are determined to finish it. We are not going to wait for them to come and continue. When are they coming to power?
Let me get Honorable Flolu.
To come and continue.
Honorable Flolu, briefly, yes.
In fact, as he said, we are determined to continue and finish this road. We'll remain in power and do more roads. This is actually the year of roads. We are not going to tackle just the Eastern Corridor Road.
Okay.
We are going to do a lot more roads in Ghana. That's most important.
All right. Thank you very, very much. We certainly would come back and, ask more questions because you have voted. You've told us the issues that will be influencing your decisions come December 7. And we're putting those issues to those who want to be your representatives come January 2021. Let me say that we're live on Joy 99.7 FM. We are also live on the JoyNews channel on your multi-TV Digibus. Also live on GoTV channel 144 and DSTV channel 421. And we're also live on Joy Prime. And of course, we are live on our social media handles. We are live on myjoyonline.com. So we've been talking about roads. For those of us who are watching us on TV, I want us to do something unique. Let us look at the nature of the roads that we are talking about that has got many of you angry and has got many of you saying that is what is going to determine your votes. Let's just watch it on TV and we'll come back and pick more of your questions. That's actually some of the portions of the road. In fact, you can trust us. We'll bring you other portions of the road. I have used the road. I know the nature of the road. And I can say that the road is in a deplorable state. I saw some tipper trucks and excavators on Wednesday when I was coming. At some parts, there's one side of the road, I saw them. But let's move on. They have agreed. And the good thing is that, look, we are recording the program. And the thing about social media and the media today, the internet doesn't lie. So next time if they come back and they make similar promises and say that, we went to Parliament and asked questions, yes, they would ask questions. But what they say after the answering of the questions is an indication of how serious they take the road. So I will be monitoring all of that as well. So let's get to other issues. Let's get to other issues now. I'll give you a chance to ask questions. I'll just ask them based on the polls that we had. One other issue that got many of you voting for is the issue of employment. The issue of employment. So many of you say unemployment is an issue, and you would want to have your representatives addressing the issue of unemployment. I'm going to give them a chance to tell us, how do they intend to solve unemployment? In fact, 18% of you say unemployment is, whichever party or whichever government can promise you employment is the one that you're going to be voting for. So let me start off with you, Honorable Etonam Flolu. Tell us, if giving the nod, your constituents are here, they're watching, what would you do to create more jobs for them?
Great. So we're looking at creating sustainable jobs. And how do you create sustainable jobs? It's to make sure that opportunities are sustainable. First of all, is it just about creating jobs, putting people in offices without raising revenue to support the continuous existence of the job, or is just for you to create jobs? Now, if you want to create an economy that is sustainable, that can run for long, you need to identify what the economy can rely on. That is how you can sustain the jobs that you create. In doing that, you need to identify the easiest way around doing things in the district. So my place, for instance, we are looking at agri and tourism. My district can boast of not less than 14 tourist sites. What are we doing with all that? So if you want to create jobs, you look at that aspect. That is one, setting the base, that's tourism. Setting another base is agri. These two bases that you need to set, once you set them right, the supporting jobs will come alongside with it.
How do you set those bases right?
Good. So with tourism as we speak now, I noticed that most of the tourist sites in my district are not developed. We are not getting the necessary visitors to come to our end. What do we do? One is to market the place. Two is to develop the place. Even one tourist site can create direct jobs of not less than 20 as we speak. And once you create that, people will come in. Estimation, if you even pick Afadato Mountain, annually, we receive not less than 7,000 visitors in a year.
Okay.
What do we do? Restaurants will feed along. Artisans will feed along.
For the sake of time, briefly, you've talked about this base, 20 jobs, and it will trigger to other jobs. Are these things you are doing or things you will do since you are in a position to do them?
Exactly. With the tourism side, there are things that I'm doing. As we speak today, yesterday, we did sword cutting for the development of the Tafi Atome Monkey Sanctuary. To develop the car park, develop the reception, make sure that when visitors come in, they would enjoy their stay.
Okay.
So once we do that, and with agri, we are trying to mechanize agri, planting for food and jobs and all these things. These are things that we need to do to be able to boost the local economy. Okay. Once you do that, all other jobs will feed along, and the economy will be good in Afadja Tosa.
Thank you.
Trust me, we will do it.
Thank you
and
very
I have
much.
the support of my people.
Kweku,
thank you so much.
What would you do?
Thank you very much. I would say I'll continue with what I started when I was the municipal chief executive. I remember I applied for Sister City program where we were assigned to a city in the U.S. which was supposed to come and help us develop our agri sector and ensure that we produce organic fertilizer to help our farmers produce organic food. We have already registered the program, and I believe when I come back, I will ensure that we get that one into Hokwe. I will also ensure that I will make sure that the University of Health and Allied Sciences campus in Hokwe, that's the permanent site, is completed. This will bring jobs to the people of Hokwe in the sense that when I brought the campus to Hokwe, that's the School of Public Health, we were able to create some jobs.
When you say you brought the campus, what does that mean? You lobbied and they brought it?
I lobbied my presence in Hokwe as a public health physician specialist, brought the School of Public Health to Hokwe. And that's the campus we have in Hokwe. I started, that's why I moved from the municipal assembly back to the university to establish the school. I started with 16 students, and now we have over 1,000 students. Apart from that, it has created jobs in the sense that all cleaners, all security men were employed from the municipality.
Okay.
Now, I managed to acquire land.
As you wrap up, yes.
I managed to acquire land for the permanent site, which is under construction. When I become the municipal chief executive, what I will do is, when I become the MP, what I will do is I will ensure that this university become a full-fledged university, will enroll more students, jobs will come, farmers will sell their produce, market women will be able to sell their foodstuffs, and people will trade in Hawkway.
Thank you very much. Let me get to you briefly, Honorable Tay, briefly.
Yeah, thank you.
We need to get to the audience. We need to get to the electorates so that they also ask their questions. Let's make it brief.
Yeah, Winston, we all know that unemployment is a worldwide issue. But in my little way, as the MP of Afadjato South, we are involved in skills training. We have trained a lot of people in bread making, tailoring, beads making, a lot of areas. And what I also do is that in Afadjato, more than 80% of my people are into farming. So quarterly, I manage with my 4% share of the common fund to provide them with, some of them with farm inputs to help them grow with even fertilizers. That is what we are trying to do. But there is also a big issue. Most of our youth who are unemployed, we really have to pay attention to them by introducing them into some of this skills training. But most of them are not ready. In fact, as one of my campaign messages, I promised I was going to use my common fund to pay for students to have, those who have failed their exams and have been sitting home for years, to organize classes for them. To my surprise, we didn't get the numbers to organize the classes for them. So we assist some of them to go.
You didn't get the numbers as in people passed too much or they didn't show up?
They didn't show up. People didn't pass through too much because it was, we actually did a research on that and realized that most of our youth, somebody will get an F in English and AAA in all other subjects, and for years have been sitting home.
Okay.
And so we wanted to make sure that the person rewrites the paper and does that. And if you ask the person, he will tell you, oh, I don't have money to re-register, but he's holding an Android phone. So it's a matter of orientation, education on what that person wants to do. We all look forward to the government to employ us. That they cannot employ us. So we have to make sure that the vocational schools are established, as JM has promised that he will build a lot of vocational schools that people will attend freely. And then we take it from there. You are really rushing.
Yes, so we need to get to the questions from the electorates.
So that is what I'll continue to do as the MP. We will lobby where we need to lobby, and then all of you will be okay. But those who are in farming and watching, we will continue to do what I'm doing, the cutlasses, the weedicides, everything, to help you. The market women, there is a scheme in place, and then we will be getting to them. I've written to Maslow to make sure that my women will be attended to with government funds.
Thank you very much. I'll get to your honorable question, Honorable Ofori, but it's important we give the electorates a chance to also speak. And so I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Association of Queen Mothers of the Hawkway Municipality who've joined us. Mama Amakwe II of Alavanyu Wudidi, I hope I got that right. And Mama Jitri II, Vuli Agoviepe, Mama Gejesi the first of Hawkway, and Mama Brahedesi Bikwita. Thank you very, very much for joining us. I started by saying this year our focus is on social inclusion, gender, and equity. You've heard from the youth. You have also heard from the persons with disability. But I still will get back to the persons with disability. I'm giving you a chance. I'd like to take two questions from you. So two of your representatives should kindly get to the microphone. If you can't, we'll bring the microphone to you. Just show us, those of you who want to ask the questions. And then, we'll get you to ask the questions. We'd also get the market women, Sister Becky and her groom. I think Sister Becky, you can do that. And Mama Jitri, if you don't mind, we'll get the microphone to you so that you're able to ask your question. And then we'll get those who are seeking to represent you to answer those questions. Okay, so let's get to the persons with disability, Ghana Federation of the Disabled. Yes, tell us your name and ask your question, please.
I'm Augustine Asangba. Yeah, my stake is on, I would like to ask the parliamentary candidates what they will do to employ persons with disability who are graduates, for them to stop the hazards of going around looking for jobs. What would they do for them to get an automatic employment so that they'll stop roaming the length and breadth of this country looking for job, and then staying in the house for wasteful years, more than 35 years before they get a job? Can they do any policy? Help us with a particular policy so that persons with disability will be automatically employed after they've completed their education. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Augustine. Yes, next person.
I am Elulu Ajay. My question to our honorable parliamentary candidates is, before then, there is common fund, disability common fund, that supports the persons with disability to alleviate their poverty. We have realized that this time round, the support that is granted to alleviate the poverty is going through a system called procurement system that has taxation on the common fund. Meanwhile, the common fund is just like a LEAP program that is in assemblies. But that LEAP is not being taxed, but the disability fund is being taxed. What would they do? What strategy would they bring on board when they are elected to make sure this thing is not, does not continue?
Thank you very much, Elolo. Let's get to the president of the Queen Mothers. That's Sister Becky. But as we do so, we should be getting a microphone to Mama Jitri II, because, you know, she will be asking a question. She's a Queen Mother, and so we would have to take the microphone to her. Yes, Sister Becky, on behalf of the market women, speak to us.
My question goes to the MC, the Municipal Chief Executive.
Yes, speak up so he can hear you.
Yeah, he just told us that they are building the market for us. Whilst he told us that the money who is building the market is from the World Bank. I want to know the fact, whether is the government building the market for us or the World Bank.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. She wants to know whether it's the government or it's the World Bank. I won't forget that question. In fact, I have other questions in my mind. Mama Jitri, yes.
Thanks very much.
Please speak into the microphone briefly for
us. Mine is just an appeal, because I will not deny the fact that we, as a council or in our communities, we haven't benefited from any of them. We have all benefited in one way from the present and the previous governments. But my concern is that, or appeal is that, we are just, even right now, there is a current school building started in my village, which I'm proud of. But one thing I'm scared of, even right now, is the continuity of projects. Actually, it's a big, concern to we as the council. As a council, it's a big issue, because like we are talking right now, most of the major projects that have not been completed is affecting all of us. So my appeal is that no matter who is in government, we beg, when they go, they are going to the parliament. So our appeal, we have to rewrite some wrongs in this country. So our appeal is just that when they get there, they should fight for us as all inclusive. They should fight for us, especially with major projects. They should fight for us. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Let's give a round of applause Our people say that when our traditional leaders speak, that's the end. So that'll be the end for the questions for now. And so let me get up here. And I'll start off with you, Honorable Christ. Now, Mama Jitri has asked a question about continuity of projects. Continuity of projects. And Augustine has also asked a question about ensuring the employability of persons with disability, particularly when they complete tertiary education. And also the question about, the 3% which is being taxed. Let's look at these issues. Let's address them.
Hello. Good. Thank you very much, Wilson. Let me begin with the question from our friend bordering on persons with disability. They are special people and need to be taken care of. I believe strongly this employment issue has to be tackled differently. First of all, we need to change our mindset. The government sector cannot absorb all of us. And so therefore, we should be thinking about entrepreneurship. Quite recently, the foundation has been, the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Authority moved around all the municipalities and organized capacity building workshops for the youth. In my municipality, for instance, Pandu, about 100 people plus took part in this workshop. Of course, they were given various forms of training, okay, to take part or to take active measures, into areas where they can, venture into productive means to get jobs done. Now, the foundation has also been laid by the president, planting for food and jobs, planting for export. If we are able to change our mindset, given the fact that, of course, everybody sees farming as something meant for, let's say, the less privileged in the society. If the foundation is being laid, you come to the assembly, the agri department is there, whatever support that is given, provided on condition you are willing, to go into a grade. Why not? The support will be given there. So I think that largely it has to do with our mindset. Now with the people living with disability, of course, it's not everything they can do. Voted into power when they become a member of parliament, of course, we will have to lobby and also see how we can educate them and encourage them to go into productive, activities such as snow farming and other things, make funds available to them to get into, productive activities. That's what we do. And the last question was on the tasking of the common fund. Mm-hmm. You see, I think that is a structured system that, of course, we at the assembly level don't have much to without. The laws are not coming from us. You see it. Of course, we'll take it up and inform the authorities that be, okay, to see what they can do about it. But don't think that we have within our limit, as municipal chief executives. When, for example, certain amount of money is being taken, and of course you are supposed to pay tax for it. You wouldn't say because it belongs to this particular division, you're not be able to tax it. That wouldn't be within our limit. But we'll see what we can do about it.
Okay. Let me get to you, Honorable Ofori, and you have a question. You say you are building markets. Is it the government of Ghana building the market, or is the World Bank that is building the market?
Thank you. This is a direct question.
Yes. Yes, speak, we can hear you.
Yeah. This particular project, to the tune of about 8 million Ghana cedis, could not have just come from the World Bank to Hohwe if nobody has done anything about it. It was the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Local Government, that initiated the program.
So, Honorable Ofori, let's do it this way, please, because of our time. Yes. So let me ask the question, and please. So is it
the government of Ghana, in collaboration with the World Bank?
What is the source of funding?
It's from the World Bank.
It's from the World Bank.
And
so the 8 million is from the World Bank?
Yes, 25 assemblies nationwide are benefiting.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I just wanted that clarification.
Yes.
And let me get to Honorable Kweku. Persons with disability, I'll get you to address that question. Yes, go ahead. Yeah. And let's be very brief because of our time.
Thank you very much. I think persons with disability need to be given special consideration. and they need to get into jobs which do not involve too much physical movement and other things. So I think we need to get a policy from government that's in parliament, which will indicate that depending on the area or interest of the person, when they pass out from tertiary institutions like the university, they must be employed. Okay. They don't have to look around searching for a job. If you are going to be an accountant, I think government should employ them. They should be given priority. So it's something we have to fight for when we get to parliament.
Okay, let me get to you. Yes, Honorable Flolu. And then I'll get to the youth groups. We'll take 2 questions from the youth group and we'll take another question from the general population. I haven't forgotten you, Honorable Tay. I definitely would come to you. Yes, Honorable Flolu.
Thank you, Weston. But I want to start on this note. I want to actually tell Angela that the Afajato South youth we have in there are ready and active. If you give them the jobs, they'll do it. She said she was doing something and she didn't get people to participate, and that the youth there are not ready. I think that is unfortunate, because the Afajato South youth that I represent, I know are ready.
She said they did not come. She didn't get the numbers.
We just did one NIEP training and it was oversubscribed. So I don't know how they went about it and then they didn't get it.
Because of
on the issue of disability, for a start, I want to be committed, results-oriented. So with the new kind of jobs we are going to establish through tourism, I'm going to commit 40% of that total jobs to people with disability. That's what we are going to do, and that's what we are going to sign, and we'll ensure that whether I'm there or not, that thing will be upheld. Which other questions should I answer?
The continuity bit, you can address that one.
Government is a continuous thing, so make sure that we continue and finish anything. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Honorable Tay.
Yeah, Winston, I would like to take it from the taxation of the disability fund. I'm kind of confused, because if I've been a chief executive before, so if the assembly is going to give you 20 cedis for whatever, that is not taxed. But if the assembly is buying you a deep freezer to aid in your trading, then that one, the supplier will be taxed or the money will be deducted. So if that is what he's calling for, the clarification must be clear. That one, then I understand now, and we have to work on it. But because it's not going to be a direct thing from you, and somebody has to do so, then it means that that person they will deduct from his whatever. The second issue is that of the employment of our brothers and sisters. I think we have to concentrate more in helping them grow their businesses. Most of them are doing something. So we have to advocate and lobby that more funds is released to them to continue to do what they are doing. And those who are already, like we said earlier on about interpretation at the hospitals, a lot of them can be absorbed. That's a whole job creation for them. So we will push it and try, and with God on our side, we'll get there.
All right, so let's pick our final batch of questions. You tell us your name and you go ahead. Please, let's be very brief because of our time. We're ending this at 7 p.m. Let's go.
Thank you. My name is Godsway. I have a question, and I think it is the same question. It is exactly the same questions in the heart of the youth. Before I ask my question, I want to let them understand that...
Godsway, please, let's go straight to the question.
Okay. I've actually witnessed a confrontation between 2 political parties in one of the registration centers, and it looks like they are party militants. And in fact, the result of it actually distracted the process of the registration. And I want to ask them, what will they do, or what are they doing now to maintain peace? Because aside jobs...
So you want to know what they will do to maintain peace. Thank you very much, Gosway. Let's get to the next person.
Thank you very much. My name is Chevi Dennis Xavier. I want to ask our parliamentary aspirants, and it goes like this. Social vices is a canker that is deteriorating our democracy and development. And these social vices at an increase is triggered by something, which is unemployment. In my constituency, I'm lucky to serve in Hokwe municipality as the NSS president.
Okay, so the
I want
question, yes, let's get to the question now because of time, please.
The question is, our members of parliament aspirants are talking about issues. Sometimes it baffles our minds whether what they study in school, they really practice it. One, maintenance culture. In Pando municipality, parks and garden, which is supposed to be used for development, is now turned to a place as a park.
Okay, so you want to find out
how are they using our resources, the existing resources, and how are they trying to sustain it as they are talking about employment issues?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, a final question. Your name, and then you go ahead.
My name is Gideon Fakoda from Afajato South constituency. My question goes to Honorable DC of Afajato South, Etonam. Honorable, the assembly you are heading currently is not well constituted. And if you have unconstituted assembly and you go and cut sword, for example, the sword you cut at Harvey for the building of 3 classroom block, we don't have committee, we don't have subcommittee, we don't have presiding member, which is a serious breach of the Public Procurement Authority and also the Local Government Act. Should you find yourself miraculously in the parliament, will you obey the laws of the land that you are going to make and make sure those laws translate to the citizenry? Thank you.
Okay, that'll be all. That'll be all the questions that we can take for now. And since the final one is for you, we'll start off with you, Honorable Flolu.
Okay,
answer that question, yes.
Thank you. I like the last part where he said, if you are miraculously in parliament, would you abide by the laws? In fact, if I'm miraculously there, I have no option than to abide by the laws because I will be there and will need to do the right thing. Now, the issue about not having a PM and other things in place, that doesn't mean that development should come to a halt because development must go on. And I don't want to break down what is actually happening. If people are development conscious, rather than following political lines or trying to do things and create the impression as if people are not working. If you want to frustrate the assembly, the running smoothly of the assembly, I will not allow you to frustrate the development of Afajato South. That is so basic, and that is what I'm doing. Afajato South will develop regardless of the support of any other person or anything. Afajato South is paramount. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let me get to you, Professor Kweku. And we're making it very brief. We have 10 minutes to go. Let's go. In 1.5 minutes.
1.5.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Maintenance of peace in Hokwe, what are we doing now? I will say that I am a peacemaker. All of you are witnesses of what happened in Hokwe in 2012. The role I played to restore peace in Hokwe. And I will continue to do that when I become the MP for Hokwe. Recently, when we started the registration, only yesterday, I was away and I heard that there was misunderstanding and a fight at the registration centers. This morning, when I arrived, as early as 7 o'clock, I went around and talked to the agents and all those people to maintain peace. They should be calm. They shouldn't confront each other, and they should ensure that everybody has the right to register. I did that. So I'm a peacemaker. I can do it. I've done it before. One of these things is if you are a leader, you should be tolerant, and you should be ready to listen to everybody. If you are able to do that, you can counsel them, you can advise them, and you maintain peace.
Thank you.
You don't have to respond to everything that they say.
Thank you very much. Honorable Tay, yes.
I want to respond to Etonal's comment that I said the Afajato youth are not serious. I never said so. That is his
No, he said
word.
you said they were not ready.
I said they were not ready. Ready doesn't mean you are not serious. Please, I never said so. What I want to say about peace in our communities is that we are one people. If you have nothing doing at the polling station, please stay home. Those who buzz people or macho men to the stations to cause trouble, for Christ's sake, we have only one Afajato South. We have only one Bando municipality. Everything, Hokwe municipality the same. You are not needed there. The EC staff are there. We are just supposed as agents to watch and see what they do. Meet the Kukunami. Don't go there.
Okay.
The next...
briefly, yes, go ahead, briefly.
Which one is that one? I've forgotten about that one.
The next issue has to do with maintenance culture.
Maintenance culture is necessary.
Okay.
When you go to our, some of the institutions, you see the fans very dirty, the bathroom very dirty.
Okay.
And please, all who are tasked to do that and are being paid should make sure they do the right thing. And then the employers to please provide them with the detergents they need to be able to do their job and do it.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tay. Yes, Honorable Christ, finally.
Good. Wilson, thank you very much. I think with the issue of maintenance of peace, the advocacy has gone down. We've been to virtually all the stations where the restrictions are ongoing. We've been able to advise them not to see the elections as a matter of life and death. And of course, to also observe the protocols. And so, Pandu, I think we are peaceful and all is going on well. On the issue of maintenance culture, I think reference was made to Pandu. It's an unfortunate situation I came to meet. Honestly speaking, my predecessor, I think, didn't know the pass and garden land legitimately belongs to the government. And so when I assumed office, I went and secured the land back. The executive instrument is there.
Thank you.
Government secured the land somewhere around 1965. And so plans are far advanced to develop the place.
Thank you.
Collect it back.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Ofori.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think Hokwe is very, very secured in terms of security. I want to assure you that there is no problem in Hokwe. I have given instructions that inter-party advisory committees, that is IPAC, should be reactivated in the municipality. So immediately that impact happened yesterday. The police commanders, the divisional and the municipal commanders, the BNI, they all summoned the various political party heads to a meeting, and that matter has been resolved. And I employ them to make sure that weekly these IPAC meetings should be happening. So that, because we are in the election year, and we are not going to countenance any...
Honorable Ofori, unfortunately, because of our time. Thank you very much. Let me now get to the acting paramount chief of the traditional area, Togbe Wode, the fourth, for him to give us his brief remarks. Togbe has been with us, and it's important to hear from him. Togbe, please, your brief remarks.
Thank you very much for giving the Being Traditional Council the opportunity to have a say in your activities this evening. We have heard everything you are saying here, how our aspiring MPs, if they get to Parliament, what they will do for us. They are pledging to us what they will do. We hope to see them go through, whoever goes to the Parliament. But the most important thing for us, the chiefs here, is peace. From now, the registration time, so we go to voting, and after voting, our aspirants into Parliament, we need peace. We cannot kill one another, each other in the districts or in the municipalities before somebody will get to the Parliament. So what we need is peace once and for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Togbe Wode, the fourth, the acting president of the Traditional Council. So I'm sure you've seen the police around, and they've made it so nice and so peaceful, talking about peace. So let's get to the Hokwe Divisional Police Commander, Commander Lamte. He will speak to us briefly by way of ensuring that we have peace in the municipality. Yes, Commander Lamte, briefly.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, so that's Commander Lamte there. Yes, speaking with us briefly. Yes, and he'll be telling us in just 1 minute how they're ensuring peace. Yes, Commander.
Good evening.
Yes, Commander, we can hear you. Yes,
thank you very much for this opportunity. I think that we are in an election year, and then we are going to vote come December 7th. If all we do towards that period, if we don't do it peacefully, I think that we will not be able to go forward. However, I would wish to entreat and plead with all the political party heads and their followers to ensure that at least whatever we do, for us, our beef is that we need to have a very serene environment so that everybody will have a chance to get registered, so that at the end of the day, come December 7th, he will be able to vote. And then we will elect our whatever. However, in these times, I think somebody was saying that somebody caused the problem, or there was a kind of fight. At the end of the day, if NPP is doing it or if NDC is doing it, if we don't talk, my men will be there all right, but at the end of the day, if we also don't try to hold ourselves. If somebody does something to you at a particular police station, please go to the nearest police station and report. You have my numbers all around. Just call me, and then we'll have to deal with the issue.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much, Commander Lamte. We've been very grateful. You can see all the police presence here just to make sure we have a smooth program. Thank you very, very much for being part of the Joy Ballot Box. It's the first edition of 2020, and we've been here at the Hohoe Old Municipal Assembly forecourt. And joining us tonight was Honorable Etonam Flolu, who's DCE and MPP's parliamentary candidate for Afajato South. Professor Margaret Kweku, the NDC's parliamentary candidate for Hohoe. Honorable Alaute, who is the NDC's parliamentary candidate for Afajato South and also Member of Parliament. Ernest Quist is the MCE for Pandu and the MPP's parliamentary candidate for Pandu. And of course, to you, Andrew Teddy Ofori, representing the Volta Regional Minister, representing the Energy Minister. My name is Winston Amwa. On behalf of all the team, we're grateful to Star Ghana Foundation and Star Ghana Foundation with support from UK Aid and the EU for making this very, very possible. To you, all the chiefs of the Traditional Council, to you, the Association of Queen Mothers, to the persons with disability, and to the youth groups and market women, thank you very, very much for joining us. We have been live on the Joy News channel, on Multi TV, and on Joy 99.7. Thank you. We're out of here. Have a lovely, lovely evening.